New Zealand Warriors take on the Penrith Panthers, and there's just if there's a team you don't want to come up against, it's Penrith. They are in the finest of form at the minute, and they don't look like slowing down either. They've got such an interchangeable squad that it seems that when injuries do occur, it doesn't faze them. And yet again, they go through a little bit of a reshuffle. It's worth noting that Dylan Edwards is named in the reserves. So pending a late fitness test, he may be back. But for the Warriors, at the minute, they are unchanged from last week with the exception of no Jack Hetherington. He serves the first of a 4-game ban after that high shot on Matty against the Seagulls. He's replaced by Lachlan Burr in the 10 shirt, and Papali comes into the bench to replace him. The Panthers are just you can't look past the Panthers at all. Regardless of whether it's a small win or a big win, they just always seem to find a way. And when you've got a team that you can just chop and change left, right, and centre, it's ridiculous. I mean, Naden goes to the wing this week. Tyrone May named at centre again. Laurie's in the 14 shirt. You did have an inkling before we started recording that may change, though.
Yeah, look, Dane Laurie is a winger and a fullback by trade. We saw Aikens come off last week for Laurie to have his debut, and it's something that we see a lot of with Caleb Aikens. If he's in the one, there's always that utility back on the bench because after about 65 minutes, Aikens comes down with cramps. So it's something that, I'm not an exercise physiologist. I don't study anatomy. I don't know if there's something that he could potentially do to help himself out there, but there's potential for that. However, I think what we'll see is Tyrone May go to the bench, Brent Naden will move into the centres, and Laurie will go to the wing. Yeah, it's hard not to go past the Panthers here. I can't remember if I told you or Danon. I think even right now, I'd tip the Panthers over Parramatta with how Penrith are playing. You just can't not go against them. They're playing superbly. Luai is that fantastic support role for Nathan Cleary, who's just stepped up this season and then some. Their forward pack is just unstoppable. Billy Kickow, mate, I tell you what, if I was coming up against him last week when he was charging through for his try, I would have needed about 3 pairs of pants because I would have brown streaks coming through everywhere. It was disgusting how good their forward pack was last week. Leota, Leniu, Tedovano coming off the benches. It doesn't make things any easier when you look at the fact that they have, one, two, essentially, for the most part, that forward pack is representative. I don't know if Isaiah Yo's played any rep games outside City Country earlier in his career. And Liam Martin, I think, has played youth rep. But when you have Kickout, Fisher Harris, Coruscant, Tamo as a forward pack, to then have Cleary at the 7, Luai, an international at the 6, Naden, Crichton, and Mansour coming at you with a utility man of May. I don't care who you are. You're pushing it. And as much as the Warriors have improved over the last couple of weeks, I just don't see it happen. And I know I say that every time, and then the upset happens. So take that with a grain of salt. But I just don't see the Warriors getting close in this one.
I go down the same level of thinking as you, but I also think that every time we tip the Warriors to get blown out by a team, they find another gear. We did it earlier in the year when they faced off. It was 26-0. The time before that, though, was an 18-19 Penrith win. And I don't know. I just feel like the Warriors have got something in the tank. I'm definitely not tipping them, for sure, but I just don't think it's going to be a blowout. And these margins for both the Panthers and the Warriors are so hard to predict because sometimes the Panthers, their attack just won't click, but they'll still find a way to win. Or alternatively, the Warriors, their defense will just show up and just cause you absolute headaches. So I'm gonna go with a bit of a safety on this one. I'm gonna say take Panthers on the head-to-head, which I know there's not much value in, but then double that up with a Stephen Crichton anytime. The guy loves to get over. He knows where the line is, and he's no stranger. I think especially now Cleary's kicking game is just before he only really had that long distance kicking game in him and that high ball game, but he's just seemed to be better now at drilling it across the deck and holding it in the in-goal area, and that's where someone like Crichton absolutely thrives. So I'm gonna say Crichton gets over here. I'm gonna say you take Panthers on the head-to-head just as some sort of safety, because I mean the Warriors are just so unpredictable. They're rocks and diamonds when it comes to their defense and even their attack as well. So
paying a solid $1.80 for that one, Mr. Matthew. You're finding the value pick that with that one, aren't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For those who are interested, Crichton is currently $1.62. Anytime try scorer. Panthers $1.12. Yeah, I mean, you can't not go the Panthers here. You'd be a very brave man to be going the Warriors, even though they've been playing pretty well at Gosford, the Central Coast. Their attack is rocks and diamonds, but their attack has been a lot better in the last couple of weeks than I think we've given them credit for. The over/under is 42.5, so I'm going to have a sneaky dig at that. At $1.90. Now George Jennings, a former Parramatta, or I suppose still a current, on loan with the Warriors, has a tendency to be caught out on the wings. So if I go back to the team list and make sure I'm getting this right, he's going to be in the 5. I'm saying if what I think is right, and if what I think is going to happen will actually happen, Dane Laurie is currently $4.20 for an anytime try scorer. If he does play on the wing, now granted this is 9:47 on Tuesday night, so keep that in mind. But Dane Laurie at $4.20, if he does come on and start and play on the wing, that price is going to get smashed. So get in early. I think Laurie at $4.20 is a huge shout for an anytime try scorer at that price. I can't ignore it. Now, again, that could change if Dylan Edwards comes in. I also don't think that Edwards plays a full 80 minutes. If he does come in, I think I'll give him 60 give Laurie 20 at fullback to try and get himself a bit of a run. You honestly could multi that together. So if you're going for a multi, I'm going to say Penrith 13 plus into Laurie as an anytime try scorer, paying $5.25.
Some juicy value in there, I like that. Your bet certainly more risky than mine is. Mine's way safe. So I say that, but then again, the Warriors just time and time again just show up and ruin multis, and that's why I make a special rule of don't put Warriors on a multi ever. For, against, under, over. Don't do it. It's such a bad idea. But we have to provide a tip on these. So yeah, that's what we're going for.
I will say very quickly before we go into the next game, Eli Katoa has been in some really good try scoring form recently at $4.50. I think he comes up against Kickow, but the thing that I've known, and you could go Kickow $2.20 as well. The thing I want to point out is Kickow gets tired very quickly. Katoa can hustle, he can run, and he runs hard. So, assuming he pulls his finger out, unlike last week, and seeks the ball down his side, there's a chance that he could get inside Kickow with a little bit of a lazy arm and dive through from short. I am not suggesting this as a play, nor am I suggesting this as a multi. But if you go Panthers 13 plus, Dane Laurie, Eli Katoa, Billy Kickow, anytime try scorers, that's $52.50. So just one to keep in mind if you feel like chucking a cup of coffee on it.
That's an unofficial multi. It's a multi, but it's not a multi.
It is, if you so desire. Here is something that may be worth, and I probably will put a cup of coffee on it. But I will not be lodging that for the record as an official tip for this week.
Okay, I think that's going to do it there then. As always, gamble responsibly. Anything you are prepared to stake, you are prepared to lose. Just bear that in mind. Also, a massive thank you to our sponsors again, RCR. Nutrition. Check them out. Head over to their website, www.rcr-products.co.uk. Using code CKM to get 20% off your order. Go check them out. Go show them some love as well as they are helping the channel out. As ever, if you did enjoy this, leave a like, subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date. And as ever, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you for the next one.